Left is Cody.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? It's Friday night, so we're doing our podcast night. Night. So today we just wanted to say hi, catch up, see what's going on. I'm really tired, by the way. And you'd think
Johnny's really tired.
Oh, that means you've been working on the game. No, that's not what
Johnny's really tired, but we're going all night. 24-hour stream, baby. Woo! Cheers.
I gotta go. Cheers. So, actually, I'll show you my little Loot Crate Lord of the Rings cup.
That's super cool.
It's actually really cool. Let's check it out. It's Prancing Pony. I think it's pretty cool.
Check my notes.
Don't show that. We don't have classifications to okay to sell that. Yes. Yeah. The Golden Fry. That's a good place to go.
Yep.
It's new where you live. I'm actually going to try to stay up late Sunday night going into Monday. I'd like to do it maybe Friday. Wait, tomorrow's Friday. No, tomorrow's my Friday, which is Saturday. So I'm trying to stay up, I think, late that night. And
let's do it Saturday.
So, no, let's do Friday. We'll do it Saturday night. Yeah. No, wait. I might go see a movie with Katie.
No, you won't. Not anymore.
Nah,
Change plans.
Canceling it. Babe, we're not doing it.
Or we could start, we could do it earlier, start it that day, kind of before you go, and then you take a break, go to the movie, come back, and then we'll keep going.
Yeah, I'll be pumped up. Because this game needs to get done, people.
What movie?
We might go see Joker. So.
Oh, that'd be cool. Be careful.
Yeah, I always am. I bring my Batman mask wherever I go.
There you go.
But yeah,
I don't even know if that would make it worse or not.
I know. So maybe we'll stream some of that. That'd be cool. But get on at 4 a.m. What?
Someone just said, "Where's the link to your stream?"
I don't know.
In our Discord, because I said, "Hey, we're going live."
I'll tell you this much: I know that I'm not the one in charge of marketing. So
yeah,
Cody.
By the way, guys, we are live right now on YouTube and Mixer. So go, and if you're listening to this, because I'm going to try to start from this one on to immediately get the audio from it and upload it as an audio podcast. So if you're listening to this, go follow us on YouTube, follow us on Mixer. It's just Lazy Goblins. Go find us. You'll know who it is. Subscribe and follow. That way you can join us live when we do this.
Yeah, and you can see some of the images. Sometimes we post images. Like tonight, this is going to be not that long, I don't think. I think I just want to... Because I don't have... Okay, so I had a rough week. And you know what? You're saying, oh, Johnny, you have a rough week a lot. And you're probably right. But that's the whole point of this podcast, is to show you guys, even with
Johnny.
Rough weeks, you still try to do some of the work. Get to the...
You have a rough week a lot.
I do, right? Don't I? It feels like I have, every week. It's like, can you just not? Not?
Working towards not being able to have rough weeks.
Yeah. And sometimes you have them, so what are you going to do, when you have them? Yeah. So you got to take some time and pick yourself back up. Oh, God. Dog here. And get to work. I don't know if I like this thing. Now, let me add some nice cushion. Oh, that's better, actually. Let's do it that way. So, yeah. So, tonight I think we're just going to kind of catch up briefly, say hi. Making sure that we're recording at 60 frames per second for you guys.
Yeah, totally.
So I could see my chubby hands, it looks like. Anyway.
Also, we might do a little thing on 3 tips game devs should never do.
Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to drive home safely.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Without you would just be Lazy Goblin.
Right. Well, you mean you would be.
Yeah. See? I couldn't do it.
No, you can't. So wait, are we doing that now or are we doing that later?
We can do it now if you want. While we wait for people to come in.
I should probably wait. I should probably hold off because I got to think of at least one tip. So that way you do 2. Or do you already have all 3?
I have 2.
Unrehearsed.
I have 2. I can do my 2 right now.
I don't know what he's doing. Coursing?
You want me to do my 2 right now?
No, I'm not ready for your 2.
Wow.
Someone comment if you're ready for his 2.
Or my 3, I guess.
No, I can do 1.
3.
Wait, what's the question? Game dev
So
tips.
we're gonna give 3 tips each on what game devs should never do.
Should never
or should
do.
not do.
Should not do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's talk a little bit more. So yeah. I was going to show you guys, I was going to model some stuff because characters need to get done. I've done one character.
Yeah.
It's taken forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Forever.
Yeah. You guys want to see it? I can show you guys. Show them.
Yeah, go ahead and show.
Oh, look how cute. No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh, that's a new one?
No.
It's going to be a mummy?
Can you even see it?
It's cute, yeah.
Oh, you can? I don't know that. This guy did. Let's go turn that thing off here so you guys can see the...
Oh, I was thinking of something. The arms.
The arms are way long.
Yeah, they're a lot longer than our normal character.
Why is his waist so high? I could probably elongate all this. I kind of liked it, honestly. I was like, I kind of like this cute little, like, just awkward looking character. I love it. I don't know. And the eyebrows can move. Like, they're going to be like, rah, 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 rah. Hey, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to put the pivot points. I haven't tried to change the pivot points where it's going to pivot. So that way it can, like, move.
Yeah, definitely.
For as, like, skeleton as he looks, he's super flat. He's a skeleton. I don't know why I did this kind of waist. I don't know what happened.
I think that's fine. The only thing that looks a bit off is the arms. But I think that's just because they're a lot longer than our characters.
Well, I was thinking that
and his hands aren't like how our characters are.
Scary hands.
So I'm trying to think of how he'll hold the gun.
It's all flat, so I have to turn it, and then he'll turn it like this. And he'll have to turn his hands in. Maybe I should do it like this way, I think.
Why don't you just model, or just put the arms from the character in there? Just make them white.
No, this
or the hand from the character.
Because I wanted him to look skeleton-like. God.
Yeah, but it's gonna look weird with his hands like this. Like they're not gonna be looking like they're gripping stuff. Oh
no, I can close his hands. I can figure that out. Oh my god, I'm scared. I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm so scared of this creature. What have I done? Oh,
it's scary.
Gosh. So I think I can.
And this is why, if you're listening to the audio, you should check out our YouTube channel because we have some stuff we show off occasionally.
Or
like
just wait till our game releases and you can buy the game.
Or download the game.
Yeah, download's free. I forgot. How was I going to curve this guy's hand? I thought there was an easy way to do it. Clearly, I did
There's
not
no
think this
easy
through.
way to do anything. No, you got this, buddy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. We're breaking it. No, I don't know. I think I was just gonna like grab it and do something with it. I just don't know what. Why are there? Oh, I'm making points. Whoopsie. Don't want to make points. Yes, he freaks me out, dude. He's scaring the crap out of me.
He's scary.
He's super scary. Oh god, I love it. So then I'll probably turn this.
His legs do look super long.
Well, the thing was, so I had his legs shorter, right? But here's the problem. Then his feet were just his toes were too tiny, and you couldn't see him. And I was like, well, I want people to see his toes because it doesn't make sense. I kind of like. I think I want to leave him because he scares the crap out of me.
We'll just leave him.
Just leave him like his hands like
He'll
this.
just be an awkward, weird character.
Yeah, I love it. We don't know what planet he's from. We'll call it Abalong, because he's Abalong. We'll just put his hands like this for the guy and he'll be like, pew, 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 pew. Yeah, we make our own sound effects.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, anywho, that's what we're
You got your 3 tips?
No, do you have... am I supposed to have my own 3 tips?
Yeah.
What? I have to come up with 3 of my own and you have 3? God.
Yeah. That's how content is made.
Is that how? Oh, thanks for teaching me. Thank you so much.
You're
Now,
welcome.
real quick, you guys are probably thinking, "Oh, Johnny, you're using like a thing. Is that okay?" I'm using it for reference. So I think you can use anything for reference. I'm not gonna make my character the exact same. There's not gonna be a cup with a spoon, but you can make your character based off anything because you basically need something. Everyone needs something. Like no one's like,
Yeah.
hold on, I got this idea. I mean, even when you create creatures, like you normally take a base of an animal of some kind to get most of it. So, same thing. I'm going to use it for kind of an idea, a placement of things, and then I'm going to do my own thing. I'm actually going to do a cool thing. I'm going to actually make straps. So what I'll do is I'll have the character, and I'll do like pick some spots to do straps, and then I'm going to sculpt some like wrinkles and stuff in there, so it kind of looks cool.
Yeah, and basically that's like, I think even with this character right now, he's just using it on like, okay, how do wraps look on a mummy? You know, what are other people's, interpretations of a mummy and stuff? And then he's going to bring in because he already has the base character for this.
Yep. So like the hand, like most of it will be the same. The hands, the head probably, all will probably be the same. But I just need to see the wraps and see how it looks and all that stuff. And like I like the idea of not having a mouth, so I got to figure all that out. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. So I have a lot of it, and that's why I did the characters the way I did, so that way I can use them for a lot of other things. So.
But always use reference when you're doing art.
I'd say that's a game tip, but I don't think that constitutes.
Well, the tips are supposed to be what not to do.
What not to do. Okay, don't you make sure you use reference. Don't not use reference.
There's Johnny, one of his tips.
That's
so you need 2 more.
My pro tips. So, and that's why I can show you guys just real quick some other references that I have. Just because we're moving along here. How do you add a reference? Come on, I remember how to do these things. Oh, I remember how to do this. Has it been on that long of a day? I don't remember what I'm doing.
It's been that.
Let's see. This one. Which one should I use? Dracula.
Oh, are you showing them how to bring in references to Blender?
Yeah. I think. Did I do it right? I don't think I did it right. Oh, I gotta create something? No, here it is. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on top of the other guy. What is happening? Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. Oh, goodness gracious. I know what I'm doing, people. I am a trained professional. No, I'm not. There it is. That's what I wanted. Image, reference. You just go to image. You go to image and planes. Nope. You go to references. And then you go to, let's say, Dracula. He was actually pretty cool. Just double click. Boom. There he is. Let me turn the other guy off. Empty. So there he is. So that's my reference. Basically, I'm going to get this for a cape. How to have his head. As you can see, the heads, I'm using pops because I wanted their heads that big. And their arms are Lego arms. Because we're shooting guns. But I'm using it for reference for like the cape. Like pants maybe a jacket. I'll probably try to do something with a jacket. So
see how the wrinkles are on the jacket?
Yeah. I'm not duplicating this. Like, I mean, as we could tell, my thing. Anyways, I got work to do.
Hair.
The hair. I'm gonna probably do some other thing. Anyways, but yeah. So that's how you do it. I got a lot of work to do. Oh my
Reference
gosh.
is good.
Reference is key to everything.
So, I guess for Johnny's, it is never not use reference.
And you have to have even if you draw it. So like, say you have an image in your head, right? And you're like, oh, I totally thought of this thing today. It'd be so cool, and you catch it out. That's your reference. So you just have to use something, because what happens, at least for me, I think if you've been doing this for a really long time and you've probably modeled a crap ton of different things, you could probably throw something together you don't need necessarily reference for. But what happens to me is I'm like, all right, I'm going to model this thing that's in my head. How do I model it? What does it look like? And that's the thing too, is if I do a drawing, I could do a front view, so now I know how it looks from the front, and I can do like a side view. And that way you can actually take screenshots or snap it with your camera, phone, whatever you want, and you can upload it so you can actually use that as your guide, because you have to have some kind of way to measure everything out.
Yeah, and then even like I remember in school with references, like we like starting out, people are like, oh yeah, use reference, and I would kind of be like, yeah, okay, I got something up, whatever. And I would do something, and it would, to me, in my mind, since I'm looking at it this whole time, it it looks fine. Maybe, and it's like kind of like I remember I was working on like a jacket and like the wrinkles on the jacket and everything, and it looked fine to me, but that's because I've been staring at it this whole time. And people walk by and they're like, doesn't look right. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't look right? They're like, something seems off. And even if they don't know what it is, just because it isn't like those wrinkles weren't totally mimicking how wrinkles normally act, and I didn't use a reference from real life or from other people's work that know what they're doing, it looked off, and it was off.
Yeah, that's actually a good tip too. With that is when you have your reference, don't zoom in so close because you get lost in the closeness. Meaning you gotta come out from the image every once in a while, because once you get in there, you're like getting all the fine details, and then you come out and you're like, oh, that doesn't look right. Or I've only been working on this one section, so now if you really detail out one section, the rest of everything else has to look really detailed, because otherwise it won't match, and then it looks weird. So it's always a good idea to get in, zoom in, look at the image, look at whatever it is you're working on, then kind of come out, look at it, maybe picture a different angle, whatever, and then come back in if you need to.
Flip it's
a good thing, but
yeah,
that's not
that was
something
a big one.
I know. I mean, well, it's different for me. I say just because I'm using Blender. So with Blender
in
right,
2D, that's something you can do. But
right, and even with like Blender stuff, if I came in here and I was super close to this mountain, trying to get this edge, I want this edge like super perfect. I want to like make sure like it just looks right, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and I just want to move this out a little bit because I'm trying to make like a cliff face, and I'm not paying attention. Meanwhile, I've done like 300 moves to get this perfect edge. Maybe I had a different edge selected over here by accident, which I didn't realize. Or maybe this edge is like not the one I meant to move, or it's like now it's kind of wrapped into another edge, like it's gotten too close, and I'm doing something like that and don't even realize. So now all your stuff looks messed up. So it's better to kind of like get in, find out what you're doing, try to get in here. Okay, let me come out and see how it looks from this angle. Let me pull it out this way. Stuff like that. Same thing. You just get lost. That's actually how I did the wagon. Was a lot like that, because the wagon, when I made it, it was is it ammo cart? No, I don't think that's it. But it was just too. I was too close to get the wheels and everything. And then I came out and I was like, oh, something's off. This doesn't look right. I had to move stuff back. I had to move stuff down. So just stuff like that. I was trying to find the wagon for you guys today.
So never stay zoomed in for too long.
There's the wagon. Yeah, never do that. I mean, guess you can. Yeah. Let's delete this. I don't need to do that. So, yeah, I was like, breaking it. Hello, work for me. So, yeah, on this back wheel, I had this back wheel too high up. It was like up here, which means it didn't look right. So, just zooming out. Make sure it looks proportionate. Almost like a car, right? You gotta have just center balance. So, yeah. I don't know. You can't be in here too long. You gotta get out. That's it. Any of that makes sense? I'm confused.
Yeah, makes plenty of sense.
Talking too much about nonsense.
You got another one? One more. You're on a roll. One more.
Game dev tip. Oh.
It can be an art tip.
No, this is an important one. Because I figured this out the other day. So you can think of an idea, right? And you can think, okay, I have the concept. I have this idea. I want the dog. I want to make a game about a little dog. And the dog runs around and he just collects bones and then he digs bones in the backyard. That's perfect. That's fine. But what seems to happen is then you're like, okay, but what's the purpose of the game? Like, what's the overall goal of the game? Like, yeah, that might be fun for a level, but what's level 2? The same thing? So is he trying to save all his bones for like a reason? Is he trying to build up something? Maybe it's a sculptor dog and he wants to sculpt a picture of himself. I don't know. But you basically have to have some kind of story. And what I've started finding for myself is that I would start getting really excited about my ideas. I'm like, oh, this idea would be great. But I never fleshed out the concept of where the beginning, the middle, and the end will be. Excuse me, guys. And that's really important because it gives you, it's almost like your reference, because now you know where to grow the story. You kind of have an idea of how to build the player or the character or what it is and what path they're going to be on. And say you're like, okay, the dog's going to have like 5 different upgrades. Well, if you have a story planned out, you don't want to just give the dog all the upgrades right away. You got to figure out, what time do I give the upgrades? How does it work? Things like that. So you have to write out the concept of your overall goal, which gives you the direction to take the game, because otherwise you're just kind of guessing. And then you want it to make sure it flows. So if you write it out, you can have, the people you're working with. If you're doing a solo, then you can have somebody else, but kind of review it, look at it, to kind of give their feedback to see if, are you on the right path? Does it make sense? That's a big thing too, is you got to make sure that you don't kind of get lost in your own story, and you have a pretty clear beginning, middle, and end, which is what I did with the game we're going to work on next. I had to write it all out. So,
yeah, those are good ones.
Those are good. Where did that come from? I think I blacked out. I don't know. What happened?
Okay, so moving on, because I don't know my 3.
Oh, yeah. He's been waiting for this for like 6 weeks to have these game tests.
6 weeks? Not even.
I know, like 2 days. All right.
Like, since today.
Since today. I have a great idea. I'm going to do it today. Go for it, buddy.
So I would say number 3 for me would be to never be fully attached to an idea, because you can work on it you could get like almost all the way done with it and have people test it out and play it and stuff, or just, stuff happens and you don't work on it for a week, you come back, you just lose interest and don't feel like working on it again, and you scrap it. Like, you're going to scrap a lot of ideas and a lot of projects, so don't get too attached to one single project, because it's going to happen. It's happened to us a whole bunch. Like 10, 20 times.
Well, and I think the caveat with that would be, the reason why it happens is because at the same time we're not working on it. So I think if you do have an idea, you have to, there's going to be days where you don't want to work on it, just like anything in life, any project, you're not going to want to work on it. So you kind of have to force yourself to sit down, do 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it takes, because if you don't, there's no forward progress, which means it doesn't get done, which means you come to the point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to scrap it.
Yeah.
So that'd be mine.
Yeah. I would say number 2 would be...
Who does number 2 work for?
Let's see. Number two tip.
Okay, I thought you said you had these planned out.
I thought I did too.
I did mine all on the fly, and they were that good.
Okay, I would say number 2 would be to never compare yourself to others in the industry, because there are people that have been doing it for a lot longer than you, and there's always going to be somebody better. So if you are going through and seeing all these people's works, don't compare your work to theirs, because your work is your work. You should, if you're going to compare your work to anybody's, compare it to yourself and your previous work to see if you've improved at all. Because that's what you want to do. You want to strive to improve and be better than what you were. Not to be better than Johnny, not to be better than me, not to be better than some studio that you love or follow. Just strive to improve and be the best you can be, and not compare yourself to others, because that can kind of get you in a really dark place and you can lose motivation with that. Because I kind of did that when I started game dev. Was I would see all these cool projects on Twitter, and then people would be like Stardew Valley made by one person, and I'll be like, oh my, how can I make a whole game by myself like that?
You can't. That's why there's 2 of us.
Yeah. Exactly. So just don't compare yourself to others, because it could lead to a lot of stuff that isn't good for your mental health.
Yeah, I would
And
say.
I would say,
Whoa.
go ahead.
No, you first, buddy.
No, go ahead.
We're like merging into
I was
one.
gonna jump into my number one tip.
Go for it. Go.
That's huge. No,
Do it.
I want you to talk first.
Okay.
It'll be a suspenseful build-up.
Fine. So how's everyone doing today? It's Friday. Got any big plans? So, I completely agree. Actually, that's why I don't do the social stuff. I don't like being on like Instagram and stuff because I start like there's people I love like to follow and they're motivational, they're inspiring, they're cool, whatever. Robert Downey Jr. Stuff like that. But like I started finding myself that I would get so lost in being like, oh man, I wish I was that cool, or oh gosh, everything just seems to like just make everything look so effortless, even though I know how much work they are putting in and dedication and time. Or that's another big thing. A lot of people that you'll find in the game dev industry or whatever are saying, I'm doing crunch and I'm working this, so I only get like 3-4 hours of sleep at night, but I'm doing this. But like that's not going to be for everybody. Sure, there's some nights I could probably do, get 3-4 hours and just keep going. That's why I love game jams. But like, is that realistic for what I'm trying to accomplish? No, because I have another job that I have to do. So, and that's the thing too, is you don't, like Cody was saying, you don't want to compare yourself to a Stardew Valley. You don't want to try to be like, well, my game. Okay, so if I spent 4 years on a game, it's totally going to do as well as that did. That's not necessarily the case. Do I think that the person thought when they were making that game that it's going to be as big as it is? I'm sure if you asked them, they probably thought, no, of course not. A lot of times we just make these games because it kind of this idea accumulates in our mind, and we're like, oh, that'd be cool. One of the things I make games for, believe it or not, I make games that I want to play. Like, I make things that I want to be sitting on the toilet, playing on my phone, playing this game. Or, like, just kind of, chilling in the doctor's office, whatever, hanging out, waiting, playing with friends, something like that, right? Because you want it something that you want to enjoy, because then that keeps you active or interested in making it. So I think that, a lot of games people make, I think they're like, oh, I'd love to play this game. Like, sometimes I'll be on the phone, I'm like, oh, it'd be cool as a game like that. And so I think that would be cool to make, because then I would want to play it. Now, do I think other people were on the same place? Heck no. Obviously, people don't like the same thing that other people like. I mean, obviously, a lot of us do, but I'm saying it's like, we don't to live like all like the exact same things. We like different things. That's why we have so many choices. So,
yeah.
Don't compare yourself to other people.
That is actually a great segue into my number one tip. And that is to never get into game dev specifically for the money.
Wait, what?
Because if you do, never get into game dev specifically for money.
Why are we doing this?
Because if you do, you will be disappointed on how hard it is to actually get that goal.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it is super hard and you will get discouraged. It goes back to comparing yourself to others. You will get really discouraged very quickly. You want it, if you're thinking about getting into game dev and making games, actually have an interest in wanting to make games. And then the money can be secondary, but you have to actually want to be interested into it, find an interest in it, and enjoy it. Because if you don't, honestly, I think you're wasting your time and you could be doing something else. Like, if you're not really passionate about it, then you might want to just do it as a hobby, and if you make money, cool. But don't get in it to think, oh, I'm going to get rich off of my one game or my one app that I make, because Flappy Bird did it, and Stardew Valley did it, and all these other people made so much money off of their game. And don't think it's easy either, because it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like that's a genius point, because tonight I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I had a long week. I'm still having a long week. I've worked like 22 hours in like the last 2 days at my job. So like coming home has been the last thing I've wanted to do, is jump on this. And I didn't do it yesterday, to be honest. It's Halloween, trick-or-treaters, I was exhausted. However, today, I could have said, look, dude, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. We should do the podcast tomorrow. I get off work, whatever. No. It's like, no, I want to do it. Let's get it done. I need to do it. It's for me. But like the fact that it's a good example. That's like I said before. The reason why we're doing these videos and this podcast is because we want to show the average person that thinks, I would love to get into games or I'd love to do something creative. I don't know if I can do it. I have all these other responsibilities, all these things. We want to show you guys that you can because we're working towards it. Now, do we think it's going to happen? We hope so. We don't know for sure 100% if we're going to be successful enough to do it as a career permanently. That's the goal. But
yeah,
like,
it's definitely not a get rich quick type of mindset.
No. And like, so we're doing, and that's a good example is because I originally was doing programming because I wanted to get in the game industry. And I knew that doing programming was a faster way to get into the game industry because people need programmers. So, but I didn't have a passion for it. I've studied programming for like 5 years, like maybe 6, because I still listen or, partake in some kind of programming just to keep myself fresh. But it wasn't sticking because I was so not interested in it. And that's when we as a company talked and we said, look, you are doing great with programming, Cody. You love it. Go with it. I actually really enjoy the art. I really do. I don't like characters as much just because there's so many details you have to put into them. But I really enjoy the art. It's relaxing. I can just put on music and just go. So we decided, then let's do that. And so far, since we've made that transition, things are going smoother. We're actually making forward progress on a game. We're actually uploading videos pretty regularly. We're constantly communicating about it. So it's not, whereas before it's like, I can't make the character jump today. I just don't feel like it, And then next thing I know, Cody's like, I made the character jump. Here's the inventory. Here's the character quest system. He's doing everything because he's into programming. And now I'm like, oh, great. So now what do I get to do? Nothing. So, you gotta flip. And that's the thing is like, you can't be like everyone. For a great example, I think also Critical Role. Look at those amazing people that they were doing D&D by themselves in their house for years. And then one of the friends said, oh, you got to check this out. They checked it out. They said, oh my gosh, you should come on Geek and Sundry. And then it just skyrocketed. So all the people that are coming after them trying to do things are like, oh, if they're doing it, we could do it. That's not necessarily how it works. I mean, there's a lot of great people out there, I'm sure, doing the stuff. But we all want to reach that level that we see, right? So we see, for example, Critical Role, Bethesda, Stardew Valley, who else is what's Brave?
Flappy Bird was a big one.
Brave, Meat Boy, all these games.
Crossy Roads.
We're like, oh, we could get on that level. And that might not be the case. You might be on a level with them, but you might be like down here, And you have to be willing to accept that.
Especially if you're not really like the first one to get in on it.
Right.
Because like Flappy Bird, that was like one of the first like casual one-tap gameplay games, and it boomed. But now those games are everywhere. It's super saturated.
Right.
So I mean, it's gonna be hard to get noticed and get in there. When Flappy Bird came out, there wasn't that many games out on the App Store. It wasn't as saturated as it is now. So, but even then, the guy released it, and I think I watched the video, and it didn't start getting super downloads until like 3 years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So definitely don't go into game dev with the mindset of I'm going to make money and I'm going to get rich off of my one game, because more than likely it's not going to happen. It's going to be a long process for you to get to the point where you're not only good enough, but have enough of a following to, when you release the game, it's going to skyrocket. Like, it's going to take a bit to get there. One example is Butterscotch Shenanigans. They've been around for a good long time. They've released like small mobile games, and then they came out with Crashlands. That took off. And then they just came out with another game, and that one's taking off right now. So it's kind of like a build-up. You got to work towards it and to get to the point where your quality and everything is good enough to people like look out for your stuff.
Yeah. And that's building the fan base, building it showing people that you're still doing it. You know, that's the thing. I think we all get to a point, like, you know, you can't keep up with all the developers out there because there's so many people making games, so it's hard. So you have to keep pushing to kind of try to reach a little bit through the top, just so people could go, oh, okay, well, they've been around for 5-10 years. Okay, so they're actually doing stuff. They're the people that released that game. Oh, I kind of like that game, stuff like that. And then you kind of build up the following, just like starting a YouTube channel. Like we started this basically as for us, and it's not like, you know, we're not getting millions of followers or anything. And a lot of people that I've watched videos about being YouTube and how to do YouTube stuff, it's like it's taken them years to get as many followers as they have because you have to build up that stuff. So don't beat yourself up over it. Plus, like Cody said before, your quality gets better over time.
Yeah, like, look, I got a new camera because of Johnny, so my camera quality is better.
So it's all about.
And I think our podcast quality has gotten a lot better too from when we first started.
I think so. I think our timing's a little bit better. You know, we've upgraded the equipment, so the sound's a little bit better. I think. I mean, we still.
Our streaming now.
Yeah, we still have room for improvement, of course, and we see that our biggest room for improvement is basically consistency, and I think that's the hardest part. So, you know, one thing at a time.
We'll get there.
Yeah. And that's why we need you guys to go to our Patreon right now and.
Definitely, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to say it, subscribe if you enjoy it, at least.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Mixer, subscribe. If you're listening to any of the outlets that we have our audio version on, subscribe to there. Go to our Twitter, Lazy Goblins. We're pretty much, you can look up Lazy Goblins and we'll probably be the only thing that shows up.
Yeah. For now. We got to make sure we TM that or something. I don't know. But yeah, so, you know, those are all great tips, actually, Cody. That was really spot on.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was really good.
And the cool thing about this, it was deep. The cool thing about this, though, is not only is this part of the podcast, but we could go in and cut those for like Instagram clips or Twitter clips and then make a YouTube video on it too. So.
Oh, nice. Well, we actually have some of the stuff that we're talking about too as some of the other videos. Like my motivational video that I did was a lot about some of the similar stuff, like, you know, working towards getting better, figuring out what it is. And that's the thing, I think the overall question that you have to ask if you're getting into games, like Cody said, you don't do it just for money. So you have to ask yourself, what is it you want to do it for? For yourself, like Cody and I have mentioned several times, we want to do it because this is what we want to be doing permanently, working from home, making games. That's our goal. So,
and helping you guys make your games, and you guys making it as well, and helping you guys out with like tips like this. And sometimes it sounds a bit repetitive, but somebody might hear something we say like 10 times, and on the 11th time, it'll finally click for them and make sense to them, and then they'll start to apply it, and it'll benefit them. So, what we say might get repetitive at times, but you know.
That's what I'm hoping with programming. Eventually, on the 100th time, I'll finally click.
It still hasn't clicked for me, so.
So yeah, and it will click, and yeah, you know, that's. I mean, you guys obviously don't listen to all videos or whatever, you know. So we're hoping maybe this one, you're looking for something like that, kind of advice on what to do, and you know, you came to the right community. Now that's kind of like what we talked about, creating community, doing all that stuff. But mostly, you got to figure out the primary goal. And our primary goal is like we want to make games and create community and just take it from there. And then the idea of like showing everyone like the rock bottom of like two people starting it from the bottom and working their way up. That's pretty awesome. And I mean, we haven't even been doing this a full year yet, I don't think.
Not we haven't been going as
hard as we have.
Yeah, as hard as we have for a full year. I think for only like maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, and you guys will start seeing bigger milestones, you know. Game will come out in November next month, and then it'll come out again in January on the iPhone. So, it's starting to, we'll get
and then on Amazon Alexa.
That's the plan.
Oh, hey, Gribbles. Hey guys, do you stream a lot with your game promoting? So we haven't. I've streamed a bit working on the game. Um, we haven't really been trying to promote it, like, putting out like gameplay videos and saying, "This is Wacky Duels, our next game we're working on." But we've been showing it here or there. I've released a couple of funny videos on Twitter and TikTok, but that's about it. But I have streamed like level design, so you could probably check that out. I took one of those streams and I sped it up, and I put commentary over it on like what I did, stuff I encountered, and stuff like that, which I might do more of that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things they say is, it's important to get your game out there right away so people can start testing it and stuff. But we don't really have, I don't even think, an alpha or a beta. We don't have anything yet. We have like 5 levels that we're using to basically test. So we're not at a point yet to show, like, really gameplay and how it's working yet. Like Cody said, he's shown a couple things about the mechanics and how they work, and the premise of the game, but we haven't really like dived into everything else.
Yeah.
That's kind of my process. I gotta get my stuff done so we can do that.
We'll probably start doing more the closer we get to releasing it, and we'll probably send out a test once we have more levels established. But right now, the levels are kind of like very basic, so yeah, there's not much to test right now.
Right, it'll be there though. Trust us. We once it gets to the point where we can play it, we'll probably do like just a video of us playing it like once a week, like the new worlds we put in, the new levels, and that way we can ask for comments like, do you guys see anything, any bugs? Because right now we're the only testers, so we got to test them. So
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I still got to get the characters for the people that enter the competition, right? Is that something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we got to figure that out.
Yeah, we got to do that.
So yeah,
we'll figure that out. Maybe after World 2, we'll go in and do that.
Okay. Which so once we get World 2 completely done and the levels built out for it, we're gonna release on Android. Hopefully with Thanksgiving, because there'll be 2 worlds, probably be about 100 levels. There'll be about 8 characters, so we feel like that's a good starting point, and we're gonna keep working on it. And that gives me a good point too, so that way I can actually jump in and start creating levels for the worlds, and then get those done, and then we'll release those, and then I could jump on the World 3, 4, 5. I think we're gonna go up to like 5 or 6, but yeah.
Yeah. Scribble says, yeah, it's a platformer, ? It's not a platformer. Well, kind of. Let's see if I can find a video of it. Actually, Johnny's the one recording and streaming this, so I have to send it to him.
I don't think it's really it's not really a platformer per se.
It's not a platformer. It's a shooter with levels and stuff like that. Here, I'll send you this, Johnny, so you can show it on the thing.
We've actually made the game already years ago in a game jam, and so we've talked about re-releasing it in 3D because I like to do 3D art. So, I see what's going on. I'm full screen.
So yeah, this is what the game is. This is one of the videos I made.
That's awesome. I love that video actually.
But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically kind of like a puzzle almost, puzzle shooter. So like you're just standing still, you click or tap to shoot in at that point, and yeah, you gotta kill the enemies before they kill you.
Certain enemies will be harder. You only have 6 bullets to do it in. That's why it's kind of a puzzle.
You only got 6 bullets.
So once you run out, that's it.
The bullets bounce.
Yep.
Scribble says, "Nice, it's great, fun." Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks. It will be.
It's fun.
Coming to a phone near you.
So if you don't have a phone, grab your friend's phone.
That could be the commercial. I need the phone. Whoosh.
No, I need the phone. Dad! And
Yeah.
then The Rock comes in.
There you go. And then and we'll release at Christmas, and all the kids will want to play. So.
We'll do it like a 90s commercial.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's currently, it's free. It's going to be free on the Android. And, it'll be, like, ad-based.
Yeah.
For, like, unlocking things, the typical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, because he's gone, I can't look at questions. Because he's on the, questions board. So, that's pretty much it. We just do that. We do this podcast. I think we started consistently doing the podcast every Friday. And I think we're to the point where we're pretty much going to do these almost live, and then we'll just upload the audio file. That way we can make sure it gets out. That way we can do it, because we're always talking about something. We're always doing something. So we might.
Yeah, if we do them live as well, and because we're using Restream.
Whoa!
Freaking dog, come here, dog.
Did you just try to walk out the door?
Ewok, come here. Ewok, come here. But yeah, we do. If we do them live with Restream, it automatically uploads to YouTube, so we don't really have to worry about that.
Exactly.
Scribbles asks, how long have you all been doing game dev?
Ooh. Well, we met in college. I was doing it with a different team in college, but doing it longer than that. So
It was like 2014, 2015?
20, something like that. Well, yeah, I think something like that. Maybe 13 even, maybe. Because 2012, I think, is when we started school. I don't know. I have to look at my stuff. Oh, right here. But yeah, so probably like 6 years, almost. It's almost 6 years.
Yeah.
Because we've graduated for how long?
2016. So about 4. But our school was before that.
Right. So we've been doing it. I mean, because ever since we started school, we've been making stuff pretty consistently. Because you kind of have to. You have to put a portfolio together. You have to do all the stuff to show that you're getting the basic concepts. I mean, I've done animations. Worked on game stuff. We've done a lot of game jams.
Yes, so, we have.
We haven't released. I don't think we released anything on the, any kind of platform. You and I know you've done some stuff.
We released Wacky Duels onto Android.
Yep. I've worked on another company with some other friends that we released a couple games on Android as well. Yeah. So.
Scribbles asks if we have a Patreon. I thought we did. I made one like a while back, like when we first started, just to have it. I haven't checked it.
We could be rich.
I don't know if it. I know. I don't know if it still exists. But maybe we'll look into that if enough people ask.
Yeah. So far.
Scribbles also says, "Nice. I feel old. I've been doing it since the '90s." That's awesome. You're not old because of that.
I'm actually jealous. I wish I was doing it in the '90s.
I know. I wish I was doing this for longer.
Yeah.
I'd be more knowledgeable.
I wish I was a baby doing it.
Programming. Gaga.
Yeah, it would have been a great game. Everyone play it. Screw ABCs. Give me some Python. Give me some C#.
Yeah. Who wants to learn about ABCs?
Yeah. So.
I'll learn how to read and spell through coding.
Right. That's all you need. I mean, there's enough punctuation in there. Pretty much figure it out. There's so much crap you have to put in. But yeah, so I mean, for quite a while, but not as long as some, not as long as I would have liked to.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I wish we would have gone this hard as we have been lately in social media and all that stuff when we first started doing this. Instead of kind of like doing it on and off, because we probably would have been way farther along than where we are now. But you learn, right?
Well, and that's the thing. I think it's growing. You have to grow.
Yeah.
And that's part of the whole purpose of these channels is community. And like I've said in other videos, one of the biggest things is you have to have someone that like Cody has been there consistently, always like, hey, let's do something. Hey, let's do like never letting me get to the point where I'm like, no, it's not going to work because I've always wanted to do it. So we just had a great connection in the sense of working together. We work really well together. So even though he lives in California and I live in Boston on the East Coast, so
yeah, that's another thing I think that maybe we should do another video about. Because, like, you don't have to be all together and in the same area to work on games, especially now.
oh yeah, there's so many ways to do stuff remotely. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Time zones make it a little tough, but
yeah, especially because he's in the past and I'm in the future, so it makes it difficult.
Yep. Yeah, Scribble says no one buys anything if they can't see it. Yep, that's exactly right.
Yep.
I talked about that in one of the videos, I think, where, you could be making this awesome game, but if you don't put it out there, nobody's going to know about it. So you're not doing yourself or potential players a favor, because you are missing out on, possible downloads, possible revenue, stuff like that, feedback to get better. And, gamers are missing out on this awesome game that you made. So
yeah. I think a big part is fear. And,
yeah, that's true.
Don't want to miss out on that stuff.
But I don't think people should be scared of what people will think of it, because the quality of something is totally up to the person that is playing it or viewing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there are plenty of games that look like crap, but blown up and have done super well and people enjoy it.
Yeah, you never know. So, and it's really all about, people say it's timing, and I think that's a big part of it, but it's about just being out there and your story and what you create and what you're trying to do. So,
yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like, it's like, I'm really happy we're going as hard as we are now, because I think we have some awesome stuff that we can tell. And it sucks that I wish we could get these things done faster, which is like why I'm trying to push myself a little bit more to do more, because the faster we get these things out here, the more things we can create, because there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of games that I want to make, so gotta keep going.
And I think that's our main goal, and that's been our goal since the beginning, is to be able to get ourselves to a place where it doesn't have to be we don't have to be making a lot of money, we just have to be making enough to where we could solely focus on this. Like, we don't have to worry about doing anything else, we just have to worry about doing Lazy Goblin stuff, and that's where we want to get to.
I think one of my big goals would be, I would love to see someone cosplay one of our characters. That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be cool.
And I would love to go to GDC for a talk of some kind.
Yeah, and that's been one of our big, huge things we want to do.
Finally, I think I'd be to be invited to E3 to show off something would be amazing.
That would be cool. I would like to see us get shirts or something made, and then or just to be out roaming around,
right,
and see somebody in line somewhere just playing our game. That would be awesome too.
That'd be cool. I'd love to hear people talking about it. That'd be pretty cool. But one thing or the other, you're like, oh yeah, that was so cool, and I shot that guy through the thing. It was so cool. But I think one thing at a time. And I think
there was one.
As long as you're pushing forward, something great's gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like this game has a lot of setup for crazy things to happen if people play it, because for one, the people explode, so there could be cool things with that. Be cool to see some funny videos, or somebody has a moment where they shoot somebody and that person's hat lands on them.
That would be awesome. That'd be cool. That should be an achievement. I don't know how they'd do it. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know either.
But yeah, I think in order to to succeed, you just got to keep going forward and just keep making stuff happen. Look at all the people that ideas didn't pan out, but yeah, just keep doing it. I mean, it's like, to me, it kind of clicked a while ago. And I was going to tell you this, Cody. So, a while ago, people keep asking me, what do you do when you go home? What do you do when you go home? You know, you're just getting to know people at work or whatever. And I'm like, well, I decided a long time ago I could go home and I could sit down and I could watch TV the rest of the night and relax. I could play a video game, which all those things I would love to do. But, like, at the end of the day, I'm just sitting there in front of a TV. And what are you typically doing when you're in front of the TV? On your phone. You know, I have the Switch, so maybe I'm playing the Switch game while the TV's going. So it's like, I could be doing something else, you know? And so it just kind of clicked. I was like, I'd rather be doing that, and that could be my hobby of doing something else than, you know, not doing that. So, and it's like a thing. It's like an exciting thing, too. It's like one of those, you never know what might happen. You never know where a game might go. You never know what direction it might take you. So... And I think I just want to be doing it, man. I just want to make games. I'm tired of the 9 to 5 that I work.
Yeah, and you don't want to be in the future saying, man, I wish I would have kept doing that.
Yeah. Man, if I would have just gone to the one audition, I would be the future Dwayne Johnson instead of Dwayne Johnson. Sorry, Dad.
Our movie's gonna be so weird.
It's gonna be so crazy
when he plays.
Did you see the commercial with him and Kevin Hart for Halloween? Oh man, I feel like we should watch it on the channel, but I don't know if we can.
Go for it.
No, everybody should go look at it. Dwayne Johnson handing out candy to some kids for Halloween, and then gets another knock on the door. Kevin Hart answers the door, dressed as him when he did that turtleneck shot with the fanny pack.
I saw a picture of that.
Yeah. And he's like, well, what's the candy? He's like, no, get out of here. Look at him. Why are you going to wear that costume? He's like, I just went down to the costume store and said I want to look like I don't know. Like, what he ever said. A dweeb. I don't know what he said. And they gave me this costume. Like, I was like, well, it's just, my dad's hilarious.
That's good. What are you chewing on, little dog?
Seriously, I can hear it over here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is actually turning into a lot longer than I thought. I was thinking 30 minutes. I was originally going to just do some video of me modeling the character, but I guess that's not going to happen. So.
Yeah, well, thank you, Scribbles, for stopping by, giving us some questions and some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, man, we're here all the time. I mean, I try to get into Discord pretty often. Cody mostly checks that stuff out. He's always checking our Twitter out and stuff. I'm just not too, because I since I work all day, by the time I get home, it's like I eat real quick and come get to work, so I don't have time to be on as much. So, and Cody works like 17 jobs just to do what he's doing. So, you know, got to keep on keeping on.
Yep. But every Friday at least, we'll be doing a podcast and a stream. I might be doing. We're going to try to stream here and there. I think we're shooting for a Saturday stream. We'll try to do that.
This Saturday, yeah. We're thinking either Saturday.
So tomorrow.
Either Saturday night or I might just have to wait till Monday depending on how things go. Or I mean Sunday night, excuse me. So if we don't do a Saturday night, we'll definitely do it Sunday night because I'm off Monday. So, you know, sleep in for no time.
Yeah, occasionally I'll jump on like when it's really late at night and I'm still working. I'll just hop on and just stream it.
Right. I'm trying to get myself to where I want to start doing something on Wednesdays. I don't know why. Just because the middle of the week, do something fun. But that would be like once the game gets closer and we're playtesting, we could do like playtest Wednesdays. Something like that. I mean, we're doing Tippity Tip Tuesday. We got to get back into that. But like a quick pro tip. But we'll see. But I think for now, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, I just want to say thank you to everyone that stops by.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
you, Scribbles, for the questions and everything.
We do this because we enjoy it and we enjoy the community. So, thank you everyone that's part of it and on this journey with us. So, I'd say, what do you? Unless you got any final thoughts. Oh, we got to do a thumbnail. Let's do number one. Let's do number one because you said you have number one tip, and so I'll be like number one.
Wait, I gotta go over here, huh? Where do I gotta go over here?
You can go closer. You can go closer. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, number 1. Yeah. All right. That was good. Was that long enough? Bing,
Yeah, it's
bing.
fine.
Bing, bing, bing. So yeah, I'd say until next time then, everyone. Just keep
Creating.